But the thing is that, the company isn't going to be running on, let's just cut it short. They're going to be like, no, let's see how much we can get because they're always about maximizing the asset, right? So they're not about like, let's see if we can get a fair price out of it. They're not thinking, let's use the tipping system fairly, like, no, they see the tipping system as, let's see how we can incorporate this in such a way to where, it maximizes their profits. So anyways, that's no surprise. I don't know how much they make, but they make a whole shit ton more than I do. So, they're running for max profits. So, a driver isn't aware of the tips, but they are included in, the price thing. So because some people do tip and some others don't, the drivers themselves also operate in the window, like I mentioned earlier. And I mean, yeah, it does have an effect on delivery time, right? But I'm thinking more on the macro side. What it really means is that, uh, example, right? Very basic, $5 item, right? Person tips, it's $5. Or actually, you know what? No, that's a bad analogy. I mean, it doesn't really matter unless, like, I might not be fully aware on this part, but the restaurant, how the restaurant sets its price, and I don't like what percentage of the pricing is the company getting. That's another factor I haven't really looked into yet, to be honest. But overall, it's like I've said before, whether it's a cheap item or an expensive item, the driver's getting paid the same thing. It's not like the driver's getting commission if you ordered a really fancy meal versus not. They're literally just point A, point B, gasoline, insurance. That's time, and that's really their thing. So what they're really so that means each order technically, if you, it doesn't really matter what the order is, right? They're all technically the same in a sense, other than the tip. Other than some orders might have, like you're not going to be incentivized to like put a tip on a McDonald's order, but you might be on a more luxurious, that's going to run out of time, restaurant. But to the driver, financially, it's kind of comes out the same way.